Most people decide a wire is dead because the breaker is off, and that assumption is where things go sideways. A non-contact tester closes that gap in 2 seconds, using a tiny antenna in the tip to read the electrostatic field radiating through the insulation, no bare copper needed. The complication is phantom voltage, the ghost charge a live cable induces on a dead one beside it, which is why the right sensitivity matters far more than the loudest beep. All 7 are linked in the description below, so let's dive in. The Fluke One AC 2V Alert is the yellow and gray pen that has lived in electricians' shirt pockets for 2 decades, and it earns that spot by being almost aggressively boring. 90 to 1000 volts of AC detection, a genuine Cat 4000 volt rating built to shrug off enormous transient surges, and a flat tip that glows bright red the moment it finds a steady field. What separates it from everything else is VoltBeat, a self-check that runs non-stop and double blinks the tip every few seconds to confirm the circuit and the battery are both healthy. That blink is the entire reason professionals stay loyal, because you never approach a live panel wondering whether your safety tool quietly died in your bag. Say you're troubleshooting a panel with 40 conductors crammed into one gutter. Hypersensitive pens turn useless there, shrieking constantly from overlapping fields. The Fluke's narrow, tightly calibrated field forces you to press the tip against one cable at a time, and suddenly you know exactly which conductor is hot and which is sleeping. That same narrowness means it skips 24-volt control circuits entirely, which is a fair trade if mains work is your world. Now, if your problem isn't isolating conductors in a panel but understanding an entire house, the equation changes. The Kaiweets Kit 02 arrives as 2 tools: a non-contact pen with a backlit LCD plus a plug-in receptacle and GFCI tester. The pen replaces the old binary beep with a bar graph that fills as you close in, so you read proximity rather than guess at it. The plug-in half is the clever part, diagnosing open grounds, open neutrals, and reverse polarity, and letting you trigger an artificial ground fault to confirm the outlet's trip mechanism works. That matters because a standard pen cannot tell wiring quality from wiring danger. Hold any detector near an outlet wired with reverse polarity and it happily reports live, since live is all it knows, while the Kaiweets tester flags that fault instantly on its LEDs. For anyone inspecting a house before signing paperwork, that combination is outstanding value. If the last one was about diagnosis, this next one is about surviving whatever the job throws at it. The Klein Tools NCVT3P runs dual ranges, 12 to 70 volts for control and signal wiring, then 70 to 1000 for mains, switched with one button. Built into the tip is a bright LED flashlight running independently of the sensing electronics, and the body carries a 6.5-foot drop rating with a threaded O-ring sealed battery cap. That sealed cap is quietly brilliant engineering, since drywall dust wrecking battery contacts is a top reason these pens die young. Climate technicians get the most from it because a thermostat's 24-volt run and a 240-volt feed often travel inches apart inside an air handler. Flip to the low range and you confirm the transformer is working before touching anything. Do that in a July attic at noon and the built-in light means you're no longer clenching a flashlight between your teeth, tasting 40 years of insulation. The low range is eager, picking up neighbors inside a tight bundle where the Fluke stays silent, so treat it as a wide scanner rather than a scalpel. Here's where the list takes a hard turn, because the next detector was never designed for your house. The CEMA C15EX carries full ATEX certification, meaning it is intrinsically safe. Its internal energy is capped so low it physically cannot ignite a combustible gas or dust atmosphere, even if every component failed at once. Its T4 rating guarantees the surface never exceeds 275 degrees Fahrenheit under any fault imaginable. Around that sits an IP67 sealed body, dual ranges spanning 12 to 1000 volts, live and null identification, a breakpoint finder, and a flashlight. The alarm is phenomenal too, accelerating its beep and flash rate as you close in, so you track a hidden cable by ear the way you'd track a signal on a Geiger counter. This is standard issue in refineries, grain silos, and mining, where one invisible spark from an ordinary switch contact ends very badly. Drop it in a mud puddle and you rinse it in a bucket and carry on. Down at the 12-volt end, it wants the tip nearly touching the conductor, so it rewards patience over fast sweeping. The Neotech PM8908C sits at the opposite end of the spectrum and pulls off something unexpected for a budget tool. 12 to 1000 volts of coverage, live and null identification, a flashlight, and the feature that makes it interesting, an adjustable sensitivity dial. That dial is a small revelation, letting one cheap pen behave like 2 expensive ones. Turn the gain up for Klein-style wide scanning, turn it down for Fluke-style precision on a single conductor. Replacing a light switch shows why that matters. Before the faceplate comes off, crank sensitivity high and sweep the wall to find the energized zone. Kill the breaker, pull the plate, dial the gain back down, and hover the tip millimeters from 3 identical black wires, while the live and null function tells you which one carries supply. The housing uses lighter plastics than the industrial resins Fluke and Klein rely on, which makes it a perfect drawer or glove box tool rather than something you abuse daily on site. The Astro AIVTS 1000H is the one I'd keep in my own pocket, because somebody finally asked why a voltage pen can't also be a screwdriver. The rear houses a hardened steel driver blade, while the front carries a backlit LCD showing field strength as a percentage from 0 to 100 rather than a vague bar. Dual sensitivity modes switch through a physical button, safety ratings land at CAT for 600 volts and CAT 3000 volts, and a 5-minute auto shutoff protects the batteries. Auditing a commercial floor makes the 2-in-1 design click. 50 outlets normally mean juggling a driver in one hand and a pen in the other. With this, you unscrew the plate, spin the tool in the same hand, and test the terminals immediately. The breakpoint finder is the other standout, letting you slide along an expensive extension cord and watch the display hold at 100%, then collapse to 0 at the exact millimeter where the copper broke. Its buzzer volume scales with the reading too, so you can work blind in a cramped space and still find the wire by ear. That exposed steel blade demands respect near live terminals, and the extra length rules out shallow pockets. While everyone else races towards screens and microprocessors, the Sperry STK001 goes the other way on purpose. The kit pairs the VD6504 non-contact tester running a strict 50 to 1000 volt window with the GFI 6302 receptacle and GFCI tester. No display, no adjustable gain, no flashlight, just loud beeps, bright LEDs, and high-impact housing in that unmistakable yellow and black. That 50-volt floor is a feature disguised as a limitation, ignoring low-voltage leakage, capacitive interference, and harmless data signals completely, and answering only the question that keeps beginners awake at night. Compared with the Kaiweets kit, which hands you information, this one hands you certainty. Apprentices and maintenance crews love it for that, confirming a breaker is off at rough in, and verifying polarity and trip function at trim out. Smart home installers will want something else for 12 and 24-volt circuits, since the Sperry treats those as silence. Choosing between them comes down to the work in front of you. For industrial maintenance and surgical isolation inside crowded panels, the Fluke One AC2 stays undefeated. Home inspectors and serious renovators get the fullest residential picture from the Kaiweets Kit 02, while climate and low-voltage technicians should go straight to the Klein NCVT3P. Hazardous atmospheres leave no choice, and the CEM AC15EX is the legally correct answer. Occasional homeowners get remarkable capability for very little with the Neotech PM8908C. Commercial electricians auditing at speed will move fastest with the Astro AIVTS 1000H, and apprentices who want indestructible simplicity should take the Sperry STK001. One rule covers all of them. These pens are proximity alarms, so before your hands touch copper, verify absence of voltage with a low-impedance contact meter. Every link is waiting in the description below. If you've got a pen that has outlived 3 of its replacements, drop it in the comments.